The disasters caused by the cyclone Idai destroyed millions of people's houses in Africa. They are homeless now. How lucky we are. We are safe in Taiwan. The master told us we should help the suffering because we are lucky and safe. Just like the Buddha's spirits, we feel the pains of those are in sufferings. All the living beings are our family members. We should take actions to help those sufferings with the splinters of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and selfish giving. We can help them by donating our money or our time or our energy. Our days of Tzu Chi hospitals need all the doctors, the nurses, and the team to do free clinics in Mozambique. It is touching with their super team's work, unity, harmony, mutual life, unity, efforts. They overcome a lot of difficulties. There to offer great medical treatments. We are truly grateful for the Master to create the Tzu Chi around the world. Master's wisdom guides all the Tzu Chi volunteers to help those sufferings. Let the Tzu Chi's putting them in actions makes our words with beauty, kindness, and great love. The Master leads us to walk the Bodhisattva path with faith, perseverance, and courage. We can work hard for those sufferings. Helping the others is helping ourselves. We should cherish what we have. We all know how lucky we are. We can create more blessing for not only the offers, but also ourselves. Best wishes for all of you. Let us listen to the Master's teachings every day and grow our wisdom life. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Very thankful for Master Jie, who, she really put a lot of effort on give you guys a speech just now, and she tried to practice. Actually, I think she already fulfilled what a few days ago what Master did mention, that 3 kinds of heart is so as pure as the children, as a 赤子心. and also as brave as a lion, and and the camel, which is she have a forbearance, and and overcome all the difficulties, try to speak the English in friendly to let everyone to understand. She already tried her best, and she do her best part, and to give everyone this the speech just now. So because due to her duty, later on, our master Jie, she have to now she have to leave, and she have to go to the city factory to do the preparation, because there's later on have a visiting group will visit our CLE factory, so she have to do the preparation. So now is my turn, and very also thanks for give us opportunities to give sharing for today, because as maybe some of you might disappoint why is not a brother Joe give a sharing, but thanks, and I think I will try to seize the opportunity and try to practice. Just like Master said, learning Dharma, you have to speed up and have to keep practicing. Same like me, because I also have to do the same thing. So for the topic that I'm going to give your sharing is like masters. I think this couple of days I always heard about masters. They mention the time. We have to cherish the time, and it's very precious. It's like a goal. As for master, she say one for the work for Buddhism and work for sentient being. In Chinese, maybe in 1 second, you can finish the sentence in 6 words. So that's why we came out a word say 1 second in life can determine one's life. 一辈子哈，1秒钟一辈子。So actually, I remember the beginning Master dimension. She say when one day passed, and it seems like it's going through 3 seasons. And how can she or us idle our time just like that and do nothing? And of course, for Master, she say one day we have 24 hours, and 24 hours we have 1,440 seconds. Minutes, and for the per day we have 86,400 seconds. For master, every second go through, and masters have a very upright mind, not like us. We just like think about what should I eat, and or what is the thing that obstruct me, and can I go through, and a lot of ignorance and or afflictions of rise in our mind. It's not like master. Every second she's concerned about the people who need help. And because I remember when Brother Yoping, a group of them went to Africa, to the East African countries, and to help to start the relief distribution. And I remember our Sisian, Brother Sisian, Brother Steve Huang. And when he tried to give a report to masters, and regarding after they arrive in the East Africa, and they want to get some instruction from master and what they should do. And due to masters, she just finished her eye operation, and our followers of the disciple or Changzhu Sifu, just want to let our Sangren have more time to take a rest, and don't see the don't use the computer a lot, and try to give her eyes have a rest. So they use a mobile phone and through the internet, and they give a conversation between Africa and Hualien. So I remember this is we thanks for the advancement of the technology, and so that even though our master, she in the period of resting, but she still every second she very concerned about. So she fully utilized her time, not like us. And every day what we worry is our personal benefiting. So, and of course, Master, she say the first day when Master came out for give us a morning talk and the testing, she say in a very heavy-hearted about the law of nature, as she say time passes, and for her body and also the mind. I mean, is gradually getting to age, getting physically is weakened than before, and all the healthy cells are not come back again. And although we know life is short or impermanence, so we always heard when Master gives us teaching, and she always remind us, seize the moment and make it everlasting, because she always mentions 时日已过, as the time passes and our life is diminished. So again, Master give us some different explanation about people who listen to take Dharma in heart or not. And so there's a difference to those who learn Dharma or those who don't attend, even though due to the convenience of the handphone, maybe some of them might say, I don't need to wake up early, and I just, when I, at night time, any time, I can just use the computer or through internet, I can find the information that I want. So I remember I heard Master mention before, this is the previous story that I heard from Master. She say, for those who are not take the Dharma in heart, it's just like the analogy is just like example, our heart are like a hot stone. When the water, we say Dharma is the water, and the water pour over them to the hot stone, and it will dries up immediately without being absorbed. It's just like even though we say I understand, I know you're going to give us a preaching of the Dharma, but maybe after I on the spot I listened, but after I finish, maybe after the breakfast I forgot everything. It's just like the hot stone, and it's very immediately dries up. And due to the handphone is really comes in the handy, so I must say we only need to use our finger to touch on the screen, and all the information that we want is easy come out, and you're easy to get what you want. So this is the convenience. It's just like me, because I have to give sharing. And what I listen from a masters for a couple of days, and actually always become, it's like a blackout, and I don't know what should I share, and I have to start to find out the previous information, or maybe the text that you all sent to us, or what you have having a note like a notebook, and I have to try to find out, and through internet I say, what is a 12 cycling assistance, or maybe it came out easily, or it depends on me whether I want to share or not. So it's very convenient. But maybe after that, when I give you a sharing now, maybe later on you ask me again what I shared just now, maybe I say, sorry, I have to bring out my PPT, and I have to show, and then I can explain to you again. So it's just like Master says, it's like floating plant for Cheng. Actually, maybe I'm on the spot, I listen to Dharma. Actually, these days I'm very concentrated on listening. Compared to the past, I have just some few minutes to have a dose off, but the most of the time my mind is very concentrated. But yet, I think if you want me to repeat what Master said this morning, maybe I can't say even 5% of the text that what Master said. So this is like in Malaysia, we have a touch and go card, which is like, I touch on the skin and let go for what I have listened. I think this is like a floating plant, which is not print deeply in my heart. It just goes through or maybe we say it's like a 水管, or is the tube of the water tube that just go through the Dharma, just go through. But Master also mentioned, this is the Master say, but if those who take Dharma in heart and practicing. It's just like example that our heart is like a pure, untarnished land. When the water is poured over such a land, it slowly nourishes and the land and help the plants grow. And like what Master mentioned, the Tang Gui, the Angelica sinensis. Because there's a group of Tima team from Malaysia, and they came back to abroad to experience our life, and they have a schedule that went to the farm and to help us to do weeding and to get rid of all the grasses on the land. So Master, after listening to others doctors sharing, and the next day she gave us this analogies is as like Master say the weeds grown in the field can be removed. So can the unwholesome thought one's mind is the same. If we truly believe in what Dharma say, and we believe, and then we try to get rid of our habitual tendencies every day that give rise to our mind. So I think one day we will become very happiest in doing the Tzu Chi activity, or also maybe in your living day. So this is what Master learned before she became a monastic. She been to do farming while she's still as a lay person, and Master already have this concept about we have to get rid of just through practicing and take action. Yeah. And again, Master say the life is like a farm. The ignorance in our heart is like a weed. And if you obscure our vision and make us confused and not able to see what lies ahead, just like the Tima team members who are, although they have a knowledge for their medicine information, but maybe they have no chance to plant themselves personally, so they would not know how the Tang Gui looks like. It's the same. So when the Tima team, they went to the farm and they start to do weeding, and our master will teach them. Remember, don't pull up the wrong plant that we want. So what is the plant that we want and what we have to get rid of? So we have to differentiate. Same like the Dharma. After we listen, we have to differentiate what is right or wrong, so that we won't do the mistake in our action. So it's the same thing. But if you are slack off, just like Master said, no, it's similarly like we are not diligent in practicing the Dharma. If you don't listen, or we are just think that I know I can get it from internet, and I think today I have my other personal thing, and I think I just skip the day for listen. So this is the 损失. I think this is, so I just like we put aside the words of removing weeds, and there will be more weeds than you will eat into the nutrition of earth, because all the ignorance and affections are covered in our mind, and we have no Dharma, and we have no good method to solve it. So as it will stop us for growing well, as well as our Tang Gui. It's the same. There's no nutrition on the land, and it will not grow well as well. So as Master said for this chapter, and now the six senses now is going to our body, and it's it's like a 身处身体的触觉. So in the Dharma, you say when you are reading, chanting, and you are exploring the meaning, and you take action, you can get a merit of 800. And it's just like a Tima girl who returned for experience. And yet you are not, if you are not unaware of what the Tangguis look like, just because you don't plant it personally. So it's the same thing. If you're not experiencing yourself, and what you say maybe cannot be truth. And there's a saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. So again, if we only heard about a world that exists 1,000 miles away rather than going there on our own, it will be impossible to reach, and because you wouldn't experience. And it's just like if we are not carefully listening to the Dharma, and or we are unwilling to make an effort, we wouldn't achieve what we want. And so masters say, are we make sure that we are not go astray, and when we know the direction is right, and we have to give out ourselves and don't make the path, of course. So have to be strict and truly follow the way. If we deviated at the beginning even slightly, we will end up far away from the path. So how should we keep our mindset so that we walk the Bodhisattva path is correct? We work it as casually or half-heartedly or conscientiously or sporadically. This is the master did ask us before. 随便走、认真走 or 给减走哈。So let us see what happened to this girl on the relay race with a reverse directions. So you all can see this movie, a very short movie. There's no sound. It's okay. We see the movement. So now all the directions for they to start is the same at the beginning, but after one round, you see what happened. So everyone see that? So like Master say, when we know Bodhisattva path is the right way for us to get enlightened. But for majority, most of us, especially those who have married, it's just like, oh, why Master bring us walk on the Bodhisattva path on halfway? And Master say, who knows? Maybe on the halfway, your eye, your six senses, the consciousness are attached to the external condition, and you'll start to change your mind, not following the Bodhisattva path, and maybe you have a reverse direction. They say, oh no, I'm not going to do the job that so hard time, and I rather maybe I choose another way and to get relaxed, or maybe I don't want to spend my time here and or wake up morning earlier and to listen. I think maybe I try to get an alternative way to practicing in her personal what we say is like she chose another 另外的方向. So it's very dangerous if we are not following the correct path, and we choose the other alternative way, and it's if there's a dangerous way that we go, maybe we will return back, as like Master mentioned this morning, the 12 cycling assistants are human. But we can confirm that the next when we give rebirth, we will be in the human realm? Not really, because it depends on what we have to right now. So for Master, she says she took hold of the thought and have stayed committed to this of her aspiration at the beginning. Yeah, and Master says she will make the moment last forever, even though until for for the end of her life, she will still keep upholding her concept in a very unwavering. But for us, can our aspiration last, or are we after aspire to do something, have our heart waver? We have to ask ourselves, and like Master say, 如如不动哈, just like we have to like as steady as like a mountain, but our heart can stay peacefully enduring without unwavering, or are we can able to do so. This is the second movie that I'm going to show. Also, there's no sound, and you just see what's happened to these two birds. I think they are fighting. They are. 不愿意放下，就是not letting go. .那么多选择，鲜肉点，对，可是两个就执着，所以这叫如如不动嘛，就是在执着在自己的。我想表达是这样，那你帮我再。Okay, for me, I just yesterday I received this movie from one of our master, and I so today I want to share with you all. This is called peacefully enduring, which is like 如如不动. Although you have a lot of there's someone entails them with a lot of choices, but these two birds, they are still insist on their 执着. I think it's like not letting go of their attachment. They still just want to say who will get win. Just fight for each other, and they even though they have other alternative choice, but they forgot they have a lot of plenty opportunities. They just see what is 这眼前 they only see what is in their eye on the spot, and they are not see what is out. 怎么讲？你只看到眼前你的东西，你彼此不放但是你还有很多的机会，然后他们都已经不在意的，就是 so we are as a sentient being. I think we are it's very often that we go into this kind of condition. This is I want to explain. If we listen to the Dharma, like Master say, 如如不动 is like we are unwavering on the right direction and we go through, so without any obstacles. But if we are not having the Dharma in our heart, just like these two birds, they are they just concerned about themselves but not others, and they have no chance to get improved because they give up a lot of good opportunities right in their So it's the same. Tzu Chi is at the beginning of 54 years, and so let us begin a new year like when we start Tzu Chi with our initial aspirations. Why you want to join Tzu Chi, and the first thought and the give rights in your heart. So never waver in upholding our initial aspiration. This is what Master did mention 2 days ago. And the last but not least, I also read, this is from Master Say, there's a Taiwanese idiom, sa li bo liu bei xiong su. So I must say is emphasizing the importance of reviewing the Dharma or the lessons that we learn. If you don't study and practice regularly, just like after I listen, if I don't have a chance to practicing to speed up, I think I wouldn't get improved. It's the same thing. So it's just like a monkey climbing up a tree, soon escape and disappear. So if we are not holding our aspirations forever. So what you learn, we forget all in less than 3 days. So this is what Masters did. I think 2 months ago, I listened this from the morning section. So thanks. I think I'm sharing and now, so I pass it to Brother Joe, or is it time? Oh no, it's also we give a chance to Singapore team to share. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, very good morning to everyone. This is Singapore team. We will have two sharers. Both are volunteers for the Sri Lanka distribution on 15th to 17th of March. We will have Sister Annie, Yuzhen Sijie, and Sister Stephanie, Bao Shi Sijie sharing. So let's have Sister Annie share first.
Good morning, Master Zheng Yan and Jing Sifu and all Dharma brothers and sisters. My name is Yuzhen from Tzu Chi's Singapore branch. Thank you for giving me a chance to share my experience at the Sri Lanka's large-scale charity distribution in Hambantota and Colombo. Before I begin, I would like to thank Sister Hualien and Sister Ayu who invited me to participate in this Sri Lanka trip. On 14th of March, I took a flight with the group of Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers to Colombo, and when we arrived, it was almost midnight. Okay. Sorry, the presentation. This is the day one. And it was almost midnight. After another 4 to 5 hours bus ride, we arrived at Hambantota and we were all tired. After a short rest, we meet up the volunteers who just arrived from Taiwan, and we started our journey to Hambantota's Tzu Chi Great Love Village. This Tzu Chi Great Love Village was built in year 2004, 15 years ago, when the place was seriously destroyed by tsunami, and Tzu Chi was the first to arrive and lend help to these peoples. We meet up the local volunteers and greet one another as seen in these pictures. We have okay, this is our Tzu Chi Great Love Village, and this is our local volunteers in Hambantota, and this is we have a greeting each other, have a good time there. And so then this is afternoon, after the lunch, after the yummy meal prepared by the local volunteers. All the volunteers started to clean up and decoration the location. So the distributions was held at Tzu Chi National Secondary School. So this is the entry of the national secondary school. And even though the preparation was very short and the timing is very short, and all volunteers from Taiwan, Singapore, and Sri Lanka was less than 100, and we listening to the team leader. Sorry, because of the I show of the the volunteers picture to show the cleanup and the decoration, but then even we show off the time, and then most of the volunteer from Taiwan, Singapore, and Sri Lanka was less of 1,000, and we listening to our team leader who emphasized the importance of this mission. Everyone's mindset was into our Tzu Chi's famous slogan to aid with a common knowledge and understanding, work harmoniously with joint effort and to fulfill our mission. So this is a very important slogan during this relief action. So next will be the day 2. This charity relief was different from the past. In terms of the item issue, in the past, we were only rice, flour, and oil, and could only have limited recipients. The large-scale aid distribution was able to benefit more poor locals in this time. Early in the morning, as soon as the bus was nearing Tzu Chi's, next will be okay. Nearing to the Tzu Chi National Secondary School, I could see a long queue as a picture, of recipients, and they had been waiting since the break of dawn, and some even waiting more than 6 hours. When they saw the volunteers, they waved cheerfully at us and say, "Ayubowan." The Ayubowans means in this is a picture shows that we get into the Tzu Chi's National Secondary School. I just mentioned about the cheerfully at us and say Ayubowan. Ayubowan in Sinhalese, it means longevity, and it is used in greeting to wish others good health and long life. So in Sri Lanka, you may hear, the Ayubowan. When next time you visit there, then you know this is the meaning. And I was lucky enough to be in charge of thumbprint at the school entrance and make good ties with many people. I think it could be over 1,000 plus. 60 to 70% of those that came to receive aid were mostly elderly. Some were disabled. You can see the picture. Some were disabled and require others to carry them in. And some were dressed in dirty and old clothing, and some even were not wearing shoes. Okay, you may see. And then some recipients' feet were also injured and without wearing shoes. I have a strong impression imprinted. There was one old grandma. She walked very slowly as she is sick. Her sari is her clothing, traditional clothing. Her sari is loose and almost falling down. She can only use her hand to grab on it to prevent it from falling. The moment I saw those long, you know, when she walks to me, I quickly help her to tie up her sari and tuck in tightly. The moment I saw those lonely and uncared for elder, I felt deeply sorry for them as I look at their situation. As waiting time was long, some recipients were losing their patience and appeared slightly irritated. My partner Stephanie and I asking them to stay in line, and we cheerfully say Ishititu means a good morning to them. I am very thankful that 9 in 10 of them warmly smiled back at me, and some even give it to me a big hug and touch my face while saying some blessing to me. I am so grateful I was able to form good connection with so many people, like Sangren, like Master Zheng Yan saying, 与人结好人缘. Starting from 9 a.m., the hall was filled with people, and they were overwhelming numbers of recipients. As you can see in the hall, there's seated so many people, and even outside there is so many people. As the volunteers available was limited, but all of them were very happy and willing to help. On one hand, volunteers were busy guiding recipients to move forward, nearly to receive voucher. On the other hand, they had to calm the recipients' irritation. Volunteers looked opportunities to tell the recipients about the Tzu Chi's bamboo bank. And you can see the Sixiong volunteer from Taiwan, and she held the bamboo bank, and to influence them on their goodwill and their good thought. What moved me was that even though they are poor, but they are willing to give. April is Sinhalese New Year. During this Eid, Master Zheng Yan chose to cooperate with a local supermarket to allow recipients to buy their necessities. Those that received voucher was all very happy. This is during the distribution of the vouchers. And this is the picture. Okay, the super and the voucher, they are very happy. Joy could be seen on their face, and their the gratefulness would be felt. Okay, and sorry. Could be failed. What impressed me was the moment some recipients received the voucher, they kneel down to express their gratefulness. Sorry, this is a lack of picture to show they kneel down to express their gratefulness of the volunteer. Some also pray and say some blessing to our volunteers. I was deeply moved, and I thought to myself, these recipients may never be able to return us the same amount of aid we give them material-wise, but their pure heart with gratefulness gave us their most sincere love in return. The aid ended in the afternoon, and we were off to Colombo and 5 hours drive again. Okay, so the last day on the 17th of March, okay, As we were setting off to the distribution at Kodalawala Primary School, the sky was very dark. All volunteers prayed on the bus. Luckily, it did not rain. We arrived at St. John Kodalawala Primary School in Colombo early in the morning. The ground was still wet from yesterday night's rain. You can see there is a water. We could see recipients queuing. Oh, sorry, we can see the recipients queuing quite for long queue also. And the small number of the volunteers begin the work of site cleaning and decoration, as well as a range of chairs. The volunteers did teamwork to welcome over 2,000 recipients that were about to enter the location. The volunteers sent welcome song welcoming the recipients as they gradually fill up the seat. Sister Hualien made you can see they also serve name some of the food because they've been since the early morning queue up there, so they and also come with a high humid weather. So then we serve them some of the tea. The volunteers serve them some of the tea and the foods, and then Sister Hualien later made a small introduction about Tzu Chi to all the recipients regarding to Tzu Chi's bamboo banks, and also brief the recipients about the donation. He told them that the volunteers are donators love to them. Once they receive the vouchers, they should only purchase necessities and not alcohols. So then, sorry, I'm very nervous because the time is quite run out soon. Look at those lonely, actually these Colombos, I feel surprised because they have more elderly attend this aid than the Hambantota. And when I saw this, look at this lonely elder, seeing the deck of the helpless and uncare for them, reminded me my mother. I thought to myself, everyone have a parents who my mother is comfortably at home. These elderly are in such bad and uncomfortable situation. I'm wondering why this was happened to elderly. And I recall Master Cheng's teaching and of the cause and condition. Then, then each of the time when I look at those of the elder people, I really, the moment when I distribute of the vouchers to them, I really deeply from my heart to grateful to the Zhenyan Master, Master Zhenyan, because of her great love to improve and able to helping these poor people. Sorry, just give it to me another 2 minutes. I'm going to share in my the last because this trip, the biggest takeaway others than to do more good is treasure my health, and I should do more good deeds and accumulate my good karma. As one of my fellows, sorry, this is all the pictures I have to show you very quickly. Okay, this is the fellows, my fellow volunteer sister Li Jing suffered um, suffered a stroke and collapsed. Right after the Yuan Yuan sharing around 7 o'clock, she was feeling unwell and suddenly collapsed. She was sent to Sri Lanka hospital and confirmed she has a bleeding in 6 parts of her brain. She could not return back to Singapore with us that night and was in coma in the Sri Lanka hospital for 2 days. This is Li Jing Shijie, as you can see the picture on the right hand side corner there. After the most dangerous 2 days of her condition, she was sent back to Singapore hospital, and the doctor diagnosed her condition as a rare genetic condition called Moya Moya. After 2.5 months, Sister Li Jing miraculously recovery with prayer from Master Cheng Yan and all Jing She Shifu and from all Dharma brothers and sisters. Her speedy recovering is because of everyone's praise and also because of her own good deeds and merit, as she was always so passionately involved in Tzu Chi volunteer work. This reminds me of what Master Cheng Yuan told us. Human beings are living only through each breath. Once we have difficulty taking one breath, will tomorrow arriving first or impermanence? Life is uncertain. We have to grab each opportunity to do good deeds. The value of life is not monetary, but how much we can distribute to others. I am very grateful for this opportunity to share my experience in Sri Lanka, and this is my first time to sharing in broken English. I seek your understanding and grace to all Dharma brother and sister. 福慧增长，感恩。
And then Sister, we will have Sister Stephanie to share also the Sri Lanka mission.
Dearest Master, Jing Dharma brothers and sisters, blessed morning. I'm Stephanie Ng, a British volunteer from Singapore. And thank you just now for Sister Annie for a wonderful overview of the 3 days, which left me an easier job to just share like what I learned. 3 major lessons I learned from the project, coming from the perspective of a first timer. So I will basically wrap my presentation or sharing as 3 countries came together as one, meaning Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Singapore came together as one for Sri Lanka, and 3 major lessons learned. Yeah. Right. I guess at foremost, I will briefly introduce like what was my duty during the aid distribution. At Hambantota, we basically need to multitask. I'm very grateful to be paired with Sister Annie. We do the registration. Afterwards, when the task is done and all that, we will always go out and see what else we can help out. So we went through to, I was also honored to also be helping out in the aid distribution. Likewise, in Colombo, I was also doing crowd control at the gate, and then further out with also aid distribution. I guess when we were there, we will always be multitasking, and we basically not selective of all on any work. Whatever we are tasked and assigned, we will just do it. And of course, during the preparation, cleaning and all that before the site, before the distribution, we have to do. And afterwards, when it's done, we have to wrap up and clean the sites again. So okay. So I think I would like to share the first foremost at the beginning is what I understood from this mission of the word 一切都是好因缘. I guess it's like what is arise, be it at that point of time where you perceive whether it's good or bad, we have to take it as like it's meant to be a good fate, and then we have to think positive and take it in our own stride. I guess that's how the literal translation of 一切都是好因缘, or basically I simplify is like all's well ends well. We just have to keep a positive mind. Why did I learn that? Because when we arrived at Hambantota, the first distribution site, we quickly realized that there are actually many issues, especially with the crowd control plans of the existing plans, which meant it was pretty worrying at that time because distributions is tomorrow and then there are going to be thousands of people showing up. So what are we going to do? So they need, why is there any issues? Because they basically, the venue is pretty small, the crowds are very big, and then there's not enough shelter, people will get sick, or even volunteers will get sick under the hot sun, for example. So as the first time I was pretty worried as well, just as well as other people in the team, I believe. But you know what? Because of this, there are issues and stuff. There are plenty of learning experience, and there's during that time when it happened, you will get when actually problems arise and all that, you will get to see the bad and good side of people, and it will also shows human potential, I believe. But what Tzu Chi really did during that time is like the whole team, everybody basically stood up as one under great leadership, and we basically discuss and do everything's possible, conceptualize a revised plan, garnering the experiences of Taiwanese team, and everybody pulling together, and you can see finally really three countries really coming as one big loving family. And during this thing, we get to see the revised plan, we get to plan, even though I'm learning there, but basically you get to see a lot, learn a lot, and be in the midst of the action. So it was, in the end, it turned out like, people became more united, and everybody was, we have a happy ending. Despite what sister, what the sister just shared just now, we have something, but it's something that basically someone perhaps have to go through, and our sister also recovered miraculously as well. Okay, this is what I meant, crowd control, crowd planning, flow planning. So these are the flows of people we're talking about. People started queuing like since 4 a.m. and they'll be so eager to get the distribution, and it's just how to. So I learned a lot from the logistics flow and all that. But what is foremost out of this is 一切都是好因缘. Just keep a positive mind and take it in stride and just resolve it. Yeah. So the next one I really felt from this mission is like what Tzu Chi's masters always say, like 奉知奉识奉行, which I think we share knowledge, agreement, and action together. I think we are also very grateful for having brother Franklin Lim Chung Chi from Taiwan, and also the experiences of Taiwanese team. Brother Franklin basically display a calm demeanor in resolving issues. He also is a very open-minded, and he also show all-inclusive leadership, which means that everybody get to be involved. He listens to people, he hears suggestions, and then he basically keep everybody informed of any plans. And then we do briefing together. We will have a meeting until midnight, and then we do all the action together. So it is a really wonderful experience. And then I think in this picture you can also see, I think, very good example. I saw also on the right and left are basically Sister Hualien and Sister Jing from Singapore. They're also leaders from Singapore, but you can see that they can I could see that they put aside their personal ego and everybody, they flow into the leadership. So we really move as one. So it was really impressive. Well, this might look a bit simple, or what I call a threesome mopping, but I think the hanyi or the message behind it is quite interesting, and is which I hope to share. First, because we want to clean up the hole so that the recipients or beneficiaries will feel more comfortable, you know, as they come, they may need to sit on the floor. So we want to make sure that it's cleaner than what has been prepared. So we need to mop. And when we started mopping, it was like quite haphazardly, like usually as you do it at your home. Then Taiwan team came and said that, hey, you know what, we can do this threesome, which they show us the way, and it is very ergonomic. You're not hurting your back, and it's very efficient, you know. So what we did is Singapore team picked it up, and then we quickly mop. And so you see, Taiwanese gave us the like how to do it. So we did it, Singapore team did it, and guess what? The Sri Lanka team saw it, even children and all that, and they say they want to do it as well. So I guess this is a message behind that you know, knowledge is passed on, and we want to pass on the how to do it, the knowledge and everything to the local peoples as well. So it may seem very simple, but I think the hanyi or the message behind it is pretty significant. So yeah, again, threesome thingy, three countries as one. This is one where impromptu, we always have to be quick on the feet. And then when there's impromptu issues arose, you can see here on the right is basically a brother, Taiwanese brother, and then me becoming a translator. And then also on the left, you can see is the head of Tzu Chi, Sri Lanka, Mr. Arosha, brother Arosha. So we will basically discussing, and I'm also a translator between them to resolve an impromptu issue. That's how we always like communicate and work together as one. Last year, the third, I think, and very, very important, I think, lesson or experience that I felt from this is what I think Tzu Chi is all about: compassionate relief. Tzu Chi, right? Compassionate relief. I could really saw that it's a relief for the poor, old, and forsaken. Imagine when people are poor and they are like, you know, forsaken, nobody helped them. How hopeless can that be? So Tzu Chi really moved in 15 years ago and still going on strong today. So that is really, really impressive. Like I think pictures spoke a thousand words. As you can see barefooted. They couldn't even afford shoes. Yeah? And this is actually in the city, Colombo City. Colombo City, which is the largest city in Sri Lanka, and there's so many of the poor. Well, from this picture, what I saw is like, you know, they don't even have, they couldn't even afford like proper bags. Yeah, many of them carry plastic bag, and this probably is one of the better plastic bags. I saw one guy, they basically even came with carry a tattered black garbage plastic bag, and with tattered holes and all that. And there was all his belongings, including his wallet, his important identity card, his you know, his card donation, the card to get the distribution. And then when he got our voucher, I was worried, like, you know, whether, you know, it could, you know, he could keep it properly even in that tattered garbage bag. So I asked him to, like, you know, keep it safely, because it's actually quite a handsome sum. Yeah. And there's actually another photo that's, I mean, it's not captured on a photo, but I could see a mother came with a teenage son. They were so malnourished that they were so thin that I think the teenage son food is basically thinner than my wrist. So it was really, you know, there are hardships that perhaps many of us couldn't even fathom. Yeah. So I think thanks to the compassionate of Master, I think Tzu Chi, what Tzu Chi really brought to to Sri Lanka is a really much needed relief, you know, which benefiting thousands, really. You know, when I was doing the relief distribution, I will always, like, you know, bow down, but I always make sure that I make eye contact. You know, just as at the registration or at the distribution, like at the registration with Sister Annie, we always smile. We want to bring cheers of smiles to these people despite their hardship, even for that moment, if it's even possible, you know. So during the aid distribution, we'll look into their eyes. I will always smile to make them smile. Then, as I came out, I will always like give them like, you know, may the triple gems bless you, because there's the usual also blessings that they always say in Sri Lanka. So of course I learned from Sinhalese and say it in Sinhalese. But you know what? We saw in the pictures that we saw during the experience, you can see most of them are happy, cheerful face. But I mean, they are grateful, but there are some who is basically, when you look in their eyes, they basically red swollen eyes. They basically cried in gratitude. Yeah, so they were so grateful. One of them even said that she was crying as she was receiving the aid, and she was saying that from now on, every food she partakes, she will always remember Tzu Chi. Yeah, that's what she said. I think with cheers and gratitude and things, this is what I believe what we're doing in Sri Lanka is right. And whatever the hardship is, just can't compare to this. Yeah. So I guess all this distribution, all that is shown in the Ta'ai station and shared so many by so many sisters. I think let's bring it to a little bit of light-hearted thing and some private collection. So I would like to, before I end, I would like to say a little bit about Sri Lanka, beautiful Sri Lanka. I think it's kindness and hospitality of Sri Lanka is people. All the pictures are taken from the trip. We didn't have much time to go or to visit and all that, but we basically get to, you know, as the bus pass by or the hotel, we get to snap some pictures. So we have beautiful beach, beautiful nature. There's that monkey looking at me from, you know, as we came out from the hotel room, perched on the trees. And what is beautiful in Sri Lanka, there are many temples dotted along the street. They always remind us to remember Buddha and also remembers Buddha's teaching. I think that's beautiful, Sri Lanka. And of course, the food. I mean, our volunteers are so hospitable that they are beautiful, tasty, local, authentic vegetarian food prepared, like, you know, so passionately by Sri Lanka volunteers. To me, it is so tasty, and then I feel that it was even more better than, you know, the buffet in hotels. So they are very passionate and make sure that we are all well fed in during the relief mission. You know, but of course, the most beautiful part are the Sri Lankans. They are moderate, they are kind, and they are beautiful. There are just so many stories can be said from here. On the left are the students from our international school. Our school is basically now is about one of the top rated schools in Sri Lanka. Very proud of that, and I'm more proud of the girls. You know, the students there. Like, as you can see from this picture, I think the 5 of the girls, they say they are BFFs, best friends forever. So, but guess what? 5 of them BFFs. They come from 3 different religions. They are Buddhists, they are Muslims, and they're also Christians. And they pay homage to masters' pictures in the classroom as well. So that's how moderate they are. It's a beautiful country. On the right, you can see on the right top is the university undergraduates from Colombo. I see quite a number of undergraduates from Colombo. They're basically doing volunteers, Tzu Chi volunteers. So they are developing them. It's pretty impressive. In the middle are basically a Muslim family. They are so passionate volunteers. And the daughter is just sticking to me. And then the beautiful faces of all walks of life of volunteers in Sri Lanka. And you know, they're beautiful, actually beautiful, modern and kind people. Well, I think running out of time, sorry for taking a bit long, but I'll just end with my slide with this. I think this is a shop that as a bus passed by in Colombo. I find it very cute because it says Tzu Chi, like Tzu Chi. So I took a picture of that. It's basically a boutique picture. If you cannot see clearly, their slogan is choose your choice. So I would like to end like, would you volunteer for overseas relief effort? Yeah, of course, the choice is yours, right? But as my experience, I would highly recommend it. Just like Pastor said just now, you can see 1,000 miles ahead, but if you don't do it and experience it yourself, you wouldn't know. So I will highly recommend that if you get the chance, you do it as you go for overseas relief. I think the rewards is so much, very, very rewarding, even for the people and even for your own self. And I say it from my own experience for myself. So I'm very happy for this experience or opportunity to go on this trip, and also for the opportunity to do this sharing. Pardon for if I say anything wrong or I took too long a time. Sorry for that. Okay, thank you. Pass back to you, Brother Jing.
Hi, everyone. Okay. Master said that about, and brothers and sisters, good morning. Yeah, I'm Jing Kwan from Singapore also, but I've already come back to the abode for long term and to cultivate myself here. So as a Qing Xiu Si, maybe in English term, we can call pure practitioner. Yeah. So thanks for the wonderful sharing from Sisters Stephanie and Sister Yu Zhen, is it? Yeah. It's yeah, I feel very sincere, very close, because it brings back a lot of memory in Singapore, because this distribution occurs while I was still in Singapore. I just came back to abode in the end of April. Yeah. So as time is running out, it's getting quite late. So just a quick summary or feedback. Yeah. I like just now there is a sharing about 公子公使公行 and relaying and passing on the knowledge. Yeah. So we can see how the Taiwanese team pass on knowledge to Singapore team, and then Singapore team passing on knowledge to the local team. Yeah, this is wonderful, and this actually made me think that there's also one thing that we need to pass on, not only the knowledge of doing things, but also the Bodhisattva spirit, because actually Sri Lanka is a land of Buddhism, and it has a deep affinity with Tzu Chi. So I remember Master saying she hoped that in this land of Buddhism, the Bodhisattva path, the Bodhisattva spirit can flourish. So I think you are all doing a great job to relieve the suffering. And I know also there is that the Singapore team regularly go to Sri Lanka to do the training session, the volunteer training session. Yeah, so it's a great job it's a great job that the Singapore team is, and the Taiwanese team is inspiring everyone to give with love. Yeah, so we hope that may we all wish that the Sri Lanka can have this Bodhisattva path flourish in that country, and it is a blessing that the Singapore team or the Taiwanese team can go to Sri Lanka. So maybe the poor people born in Sri Lanka, out of their karmic cause, but we go to Sri Lanka because we are willing to go there. So this is the difference between this is a kind of freedom. Yeah. In Chinese we say 一个是因为业过去，一个是因为就是愿过去。Because of our vow, so we go to that place. Yeah. So we hope that we can also share the Bodhisattva spirit to the local people, and hope that the country will be transformed into a spiritually rich country. We can see that Sri Lanka just now I think Sister Yu Zhen, is it? She shared that the local people kneel down to express their gratefulness, so we can still see the Buddhist etiquette in that country. But I think what is lacking is the Bodhisattva spirit. This one, hopefully, in the near future, we can pass on this Bodhisattva spirit into the land of Buddhism. And I think I shall stop here and pass back to Brother Joe Huang to end the session. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, bye everybody. Bye bye. Okay, thanks to Master and also thanks to everybody. Wonderful sharing. Wonderful. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. 感恩 wonderful， 感恩 Master 杰 Master 黄 Brother 景光 Sister Stephanie Sister Yizen for such wonderful sharing today. Very impactful, powerful. 感恩 everyone. 感恩 for lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence. Hope that each of us could sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Dharma Masters and Hualien love to our life. Let us please make 3 bows to the Buddha and Dharma Master as we depart to apply these teachings in our daily life. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our most beloved Sifu for joining us today, giving us lots of insights, Ka'an. Ka'an. See everyone next Saturday.
Okay, bye-bye everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Ka'an Rajo.